which has been said and written about the so-called Operation Denton in recent times, particularly around the 17th of May, the anniversary of the Dublin and Monaghan Bombings of 1974. And much of this comes under the heading, in my view, of propaganda and misinformation as to what it is and as to what it embraces. Just to be clear, Operation Denton was launched in February 2020. The PSNI were forced, as a result of a Belfast Court judgement, which is now referred to as the Barnard review, to reopen a review into the activities of the Glenanne gang, as the Loyalist UVF. And up to that point, the PSNI had consistently refused to do this. As a result of the judgment, the Chief Constable of the PSNI asked Jon Boutcher, who was then the Head of Operation Kenova and now Chief Constable of the PSNI, to undertake this review. It is very important to note that this is a review and not a criminal investigation. Also, it's important to note this gang is accused of many murders, including, of course, the infamous attack on the Miami showband in 1975. But Mr. Boutcher alleges also, in relation to Dublin and Monaghan bombings, that it has a relevance to those killings, and he has made that part of his, or he had made that part of his mission since 2020. This is even more remarkable because he repeatedly prefaces his remarks on the bombings by saying that he has no jurisdiction in the South. Many, many times, and on the record, this is what Mr. Boutcher has said. So what is he doing here if he has no jurisdiction in the South? The plain fact is that this is not an independent investigation. It's probably not even an independent review, and its investigators or personnel had no jurisdiction in the South. The other side of that coin is, of course, the regrettable fact that Dublin has abdicated its responsibility in relation to the Dublin and Monaghan killings and handed the initiative to the British authorities, from whose jurisdiction the attacks were launched in the first place and within whose jurisdiction the culprits lived, and whose security personnel in many instances have been accused of colluding with the killers. And that, of course, is true of many other murders as well. No other country would be so negligent as to turn their back on doing what they should do, which is to have that matter handled within the jurisdiction of the country where the crimes were committed. Absolutely straightforward point to make.